What sounded like an old vinyl playing a sad song which we later discovered was the song Ooh Oh Baby Baby by Linda Ronstadt playing. The volume seemed to increase as we all focused our energy on it. So I've never used Reddit before, so bear with me. I haven't even truly wrote about my supernatural experiences. I've been listening to many stories on YouTube and figured I could share my own and see if anyone has any similar stories. Here's a bit of context / backstory to these different events. I live in a pretty known college town in Georgia and I've lived here my entire life. I've always had a fascination with the paranormal and supernatural. My mom was a photographer and discovered the abandoned hospital city known as Central State Hospital about an hour and a half from our house. This place was the largest insane asylum in the world during the 60s and 70s. It was in operation from 1891-2010 with over 200 buildings. She was encapsulated by the eerie, heavy energy that this place carried. This was in 2015. My mom took many photos here and even published a photo journal about the campus. I've been exploring here over 10 times in the past 11 years. I will start with my first time visiting this place and work my way through the different encounters. One summer night in 2016, my older sister, her now husband, my older brother, and his ex-girlfriend on a whim decided they were going to go to Central State to ghost hunt. As a 13-year-old who was enamored at the idea of coming along, begged for them to let me tag along. After 30 minutes of convincing and getting my parents' permission, they caved and let me go. I remember it feeling very movie-like. We were looking for cross necklaces and other various items of protection. It was around 12:30-1 a.m., which would put us there around 2:30 a.m. We hit the road after a bit of preparation. We stopped by a Walmart on the way. Lord, I missed the 24 Walmarts and bought flashlights and energy drinks. We arrived at the campus around 3 a.m. As soon as we arrive and see the giant buildings with even larger shadows, we see a white security car patrolling. But now brother-in-law made the executive decision of approaching them and letting them know we were going to be walking around the campus, staying on the sidewalk, and remain respectful of the campus. The security guard told us as long as we stayed on the sidewalk and didn't try to enter any buildings, it wouldn't be a problem. We then parked in front of the main building and our journey. I remember stepping out of the car and the entire energy shifting. The overwhelming sense of dread and heavy energy was suffocating. It was starting to feel more real as we got out and decided on how to go about exploring. We walked through the admissions tunnel where we heard stories of electronics malfunctioning. All lights, tape recorders, and phones remained functional. Only the heavy echo of our questions to whatever spirits were listening. My brother had one of the EMF apps on his phone, which definitely seemed sketchy, but actually detected the different EMFs from phones and electronics and what not, and we kinda used that as a guide. We get around to the side of the building and all of a sudden the EMF that was stagnant at about 20 jumped up to about 90, and we all felt something's presence. We held the phone next to a window where it went from 90 all the way up to the low 200s. Then we heard something that to this day sends shivers through my body. What sounded like an old vinyl playing a sad song which we later discovered was the song Ooh Oh Baby Baby by Linda Ronstadt playing. The volume seemed to increase as we all focused our energy on it. This music coming from a building that hasn't had electricity since at least the 90s. My sister was live streaming on Facebook and still has the footage of this happening, which who knows, I may turn this into a TikTok series. This made everything seem very real. We kept on moving, not wanting to be seen right next to a window after our agreement with security. As we get around to the other side of the building, my sister was feeling overwhelmed by dread and anxiety, and we decided to call it and head back home. We got the experience we were searching for, and it now felt like we were not welcome. This is the first of 7 supernatural experiences I've had here, which honestly get progressively more intense and direct each time I went. From having a spirit say my name without me introducing myself, turning off street lights and flashlight as a result of me asking, directly communicating through a flashlight, to being touched on my shoulder. I have many more stories as I aged and visited the campus more throughout the years. I will post each story in chronological order as I have the time to truly write each encounter as I remember it, but I figure this is a good start.